We want our place actors tab open so we can drag some more out. And I'm just going to drag out a new box. And when you drag it out, it won't just drop where you put it. It'll drop to the closest grid of 50 that it detects. So if I put it in the corner like this, oh, maybe let's try that again. If I put it in the corner, it'll snap to the nearest grid of 50, which is right on the corner where I want it. And then I want this to be like a wall, so I'm just gonna make it like 50 wide. And when I say 50, it's actually 50 UUs, which is Unreal Units is what we call it. But it actually converts to meters. So each UU is a centimeter. So 100 UUs, one of these boxes is 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter, which is really cool. So you can convert things that way from a modeling software that uses meters or something. And I'm just going to make one wall, and if you actually hit Shift 1, you can go back to select mode, or you can just select it from the drop down here. But I like using the hotkeys. So that setting that we turned on in editor preferences actually reset our pivot point to the center of our vertices. If you didn't know how to turn that on, my video on how to make an Unreal project will show you how. The next hotkey I'm going to show you is the one I just failed to tell you about. I'm just going to delete that and re-show you. So if you hold Alt when you have an object selected in select mode and drag out after left mouse clicking on the axis you choose, it will actually duplicate the object. So I'm just going to Alt drag and make my right wall. And then I'm going to hold Alt again, left mouse, and click and drag out from the x-axis. Now, because my pivot point's in the center, it makes it a little hard. So in my case, I think I'm actually just going to delete this and drag out a new box and hold it into the corner over here so I can make my rear wall. And I'm going to hit Shift 4, select the front face. I'm going to hit W to go into move, because I was in rotate before. I'm going to make it 50 again. We'll bring the height to 4 meters. We'll grab the edge. Sometimes selecting the faces can be a little weird depending on your camera position. It's actually working quite well right now. But yeah, right there, it just selected the vertex in the back. But sometimes it can be a bit weird. You just have to get your camera faced like in the right direction. So if it's not clicking on the face that you want it to, just kind of move your camera around and get a new position on it. But once I have this little box here, I am going to make a front wall. So I'm going to hit Shift 1 to go back into move. And once I kind of move around, it'll reset my pivot point, which is really cool. And I'm going to hold Alt, left mouse, and drag from the y-axis and make that front wall. Now, I'm going to do one last thing, which is the roof. And to do that, I'm just going to drag out a box again. And I'm going to kind of place it on the corner like that. It actually placed exactly where I want it, which is nice. But make sure it's hanging off 50 UUs from each corner. And then hit Shift 4. Grab one of the faces, either on this side or this side, and drag it out to 50 past the other side. And then I'm just going to grab the face on the back and do the same thing for the rear. And then for the top, you can see there, yeah, it kind of didn't select the face I wanted to. So I'm just going to reposition my camera to the top and reselect that face. And then hit F and kind of zoom out. Now I want my roof, I don't want it as high as my house, so I'm just going to make it Yeah, I'm gonna make it 1 meter higher than the original box size. Now, when you have your face selected, you can hold. You can click on the vertices as well, which are these little boxes on the corners. And if I select that, it'll move my pivot point to there. And if you hold Control, you can select another point. And when you have two selected, you can move the whole edge. And you can also select the edge. I forgot to mention that, but I'm just gonna move it into the center, which it's 3, 3, 7. So I'm gonna put it right here. That way it's in the center. And this looks okay. Now the other side, we can select the edge. So it's a little bit harder to grab. That's why I didn't. But if you put your mouse like right on the edge, you can. Yeah, see, it's really hard to grab. You can select the edge. See, I got it there. And it's kind of hard to see. That's why I never grab it. And our pivot point, it's in object space. So I'm just going to click that to world space. And I'm going to move this in so that it's the same as the other one. Now, if I hold shift and hit 1, I can go back to select mode, hit F, and I can look at my beautiful house. And that's where I'm going to end the video for now. And the next one we'll talk about subtractive BSPs and stairs.